since the past couple of years. And what about the Tampa Bay Rays this year?
Well, I think all three of those teams are going to win 90 games this year, which would make it not unique, but it would be rare to see three teams in one division win 90. But I think all three of them are that good. If I had to pick it today, I would pick the Yankees to win the division. I just love it. There's no way around this. They got the best pitcher available in the free agent market in Sabathia. They got the best hitter in Teixeira. They got A.J. Burnett, who appeared to have turned the corner last season. So their rotation is so much better than it was last year when they used 13 different starters, including Sidney Ponson, 15 times. I mean, that they won't have to resort to that. I'm not sure they're as good as people think offensively, but Teixeira will help, and it'll help their defense. But we had four supposed experts at ESPN asked the other day to list the standings in the AL East, and all three guys had them different. And all four guys had a different standings, which just shows you somebody picked the Rays, somebody picked the Yankees, somebody picked the Red Sox. It's all over the place, and that's the beauty of that division.
And we're speaking with Tim Kurkjian of ESPN's Baseball Tonight and also a Maryland alum. Now, Tim, sticking with the Yankees, you said Teixeira definitely going to add some run support in there, help out A-Rod. Now, it just came out on Saturday that doctors found a cyst on Alex Rodriguez's right hip. Will that be a big concern going into the season? Was that going to affect him starting on opening day? Will that push anything back?
No, I don't think so. I mean, it may keep him out of the WBC, which wouldn't be the worst thing that ever happened to the Yankees. In fact, they would probably welcome that. And he played a little with it last year, Joe Girardi said yesterday. So I think he can play through this. It wasn't what kept him out last year. And, even with injuries, he still had 35 homers last year. So I think with all the distractions, all the minor injuries, everything he's got going, it's going to be a difficult year for him. And yet, he is so indescribably good. His talent level is so unbelievably high that I think he'll have a 40-homer season and just hit his way right through this because he's that talented.
Tim, everybody trying to get their homer questions on. As a resident Orioles fan, not too much to ask about them. I think everybody in Orioles Nation realizes that they won't be ready to be competitive to Arrieta, Tillman, and Matthews get into the majors. But their most highly anticipated prospect, Matt Wieters, is knocking on the door for the majors. A lot of people are really excited for him to be up and coming. How long do you think the Orioles are going to keep him in AAA? Will they do the same as Evan Longoria to try to extend his arbitration years, or do you think he'll be ready sometime in April or May?
Well, I don't think we'll see him until June, partly because of the finances and partly because, as guys have told me, they don't want to rush him in, and they don't want to bring him in until the team has turned it around and has started to be good again. They want him to be there when this club turns it around. I just don't think they're going to turn it around in the next couple of years. So my thinking on this would be bring him to the big leagues as soon as he's ready. The people in Baltimore are dying for somebody to come to the ballpark and watch. And if it's a young player who represents the future of the team, the sooner he gets there, the better. And I mean opening day for me, but if they keep him out 3 weeks like the Rays did with Longoria, I could live with that. But I feel so badly for a lot of Oriole fans because they're just dying for somebody to latch on to. This is the kid. This is how good this kid is going to be. And the sooner he gets there, the better.
And, Tim, a team right down the Beltway is in a little bit of trouble this offseason, the Washington Nationals, with Jim Bowden recently resigning as GM. What exactly took place with them this offseason that led to this ultimate conclusion with Stan Kasten acting as the interim general manager?
Well, first off, they lost 102 games last year, and they were basically unwatchable. And he has to take some of the blame for that, as well as a bunch of injuries that took place. And then he was involved, and we're not sure he's claimed innocence completely on this, of some money skimming situation where, money was taken from, from guys that they signed. But that, he again said that he's totally innocent of that. But then recently, we just found out that $1.4 million went to sign a kid who had lied about his age and lied about his name, and that ultimately has to go on the GM's head. And in the end, this spring, when I saw the Nationals, it was just an untenable situation. It was an incredible distraction. every single day people were wondering, is the GM going to get fired today? Is he going to get fired today? Something had to be done immediately. And even though he resigned, it was clear he resigned under pressure. And even though the Nationals have a long, long way to go, I think this is a step forward to get them back on the right track, knowing that at least they've got the GM out of there, the guy who had caused such a distraction, and now they can move on. Mike Rizzo will run the team day to day until they find a GM, and we'll see how long that takes.
And, Tim, we just got 2 more questions for you, wrapping it back up with the WBC coming full circle. 2 guys who are still unsigned as free agents are kind of using the World Baseball Classic as a showcase, Pedro Martinez and Pudge Rodriguez. Do you think either of them will find a team after the tournament to latch onto at a decent deal? If so, which one, or both, or neither, I guess, for that matter?
Well, I think both are going to get jobs, but only if they're willing to pay for a very low rate. And a lot of guys who played as long as them, both our first ballot Hall of Famers, are going to say, no, I'm not playing for $1 million or $2 million. Well, that's all the money that's going to be out there. I think Pedro could help several teams, but, as a 4th starter, as a 5th starter. I think Pudge Rodriguez could be the starting catcher for the Astros right now, but only if he took a significantly low rate of pay. I mean, there's just no way around it. Teams don't have enough money anymore to be paying $5, $6, $10 million to these guys, and that's what they're going to want. But that money, sadly, just isn't available anymore.
And Tim, one last question. To get you out on the before we let you go. World Baseball Classic coming up. What are the chances are that we see Ichiro pitch for Japan, and who on USA's rosters do you think would be the most intriguing pitcher?
I don't think Ichiro's going to pitch for Japan. I hope he does. He has a great arm. He's an unbelievable athlete. I think it would add a little spice and a little color to it. But I think the Mariners would probably say, no, he's not going to do that. This is our best player. We're not very good. We can't afford to lose him, and we don't want him throwing as hard as he can in a position where he just doesn't play. As for the American League team, for the American team, there are so many intriguing storylines there, but I'm going to be watching again that third base DH situation with David Wright and Chipper Jones. Chipper Jones told me the other day, he said, one of us is going to have to DH, and he raised his hand and said, I'd be happy to do it. He said, it's like pitch hitting 5 times a game. If you need someone else to play third base, I'm all for it. I just want to hit, and one way or another, he's going to play a lot, and that team is going to be really good. No way around that.
All right, Tim. Thanks a lot. We really appreciate it for you hopping on with us this semester. Thanks again.
Okay, guys, go Terps. See you later.